Yep.
Okay, we are live. Welcome to From the Chair with Nathan tonight.
How's it going? So, would you? I know we mentioned this in the Megan interview, but could you explain to the viewers what came through your mind to make this bet with me that you told Megan about yesterday?
Oh, that's right. I actually get to debut that live on your guys' podcast tonight, don't I? Now, since it's live and everybody gets to watch this. So, in 19 short nights, that's right, 19 nights until WrestleMania. Do you believe that?
I do not believe that. Although I'm a little bit excited because that means we're about a little bit over 20 days away from going to SmackDown.
So, in 19 days is WrestleMania in Los Angeles, which means in 18 days, Mr. Nos gets to make his predictions for that show. And Mr. Nos has a handshake deal with his executive producer that if he does not go perfect over both nights of WrestleMania, predict every match correctly, the Mariners game that he goes to with the Good Times program, he will be known as Miss Natty Nos. That means if he loses, he gets to dress up in a dress, makeup, and a wig and go to the Mariners game as a woman.
You forgot the lipstick and the nail polish.
However he wants to do it is fine with me, but so, let's talk about that, fans. Let's put this in the chat if we have to. What do you think of Nathan?
Do you think that I'm going to win, or do you think I'm going to lose?
And do you think he'd look good in a dress or not?
Probably not. I weigh quite a bit. That would be like, you ever seen the movie Big Mama's House with Martin Lawrence?
And one more question for you fans. Do you think he's going to get hit on at the game?
Well, that might happen, because there's some interesting people in Seattle.
He is not wrong there.
So let's get to some wrestling news. I heard a rumor today that CM Punk might be going to ROH. Which, to me, is a little weird, considering, didn't they move Colt Cabana to ROH to get him away from CM Punk?
I don't know. I never seen the ROH roster except for who they advertise on the show every Thursday night, and congratulations. I never knew that Jake Christ was part of the ROH roster.
Yes, congratulations to him, but that does kind of make me a little bit bummed out. I was kind of hoping that Impact would bring back Jake and Chris and his brother to join up with Sami Callihan again.
Well, I think it's time for them to move on. They were bigger stars, and Callahan, I don't know why he is still an Impact. Honestly, he's a big star too, and should move to bigger and better pastures too.
So, do you think though that CM Punk would work in ROH, or do you think he would have the same problems with people not wanting to work with him that he has at AEW?
It's a good question. It's a good question. I'm not really sure. I mean, it's Punk, for crying out loud. He's Punk for a reason, right?
Well, and the thing about Punk is he's not Triple H, he's not Ric Flair. He's not, even though, he hasn't wrestled for a while, he's not at the star level of Hulk Hogan. So the fact that he's had the all these issues with like the Elite and basically threw everybody in AEW under the bus. I go back to one of my original statements when this whole thing happened. Why would you even want to take the chance? Yes, he might bump your ratings a little bit, but if you're on ROH, it's on Honor Club, so do you really have to worry about your ratings?
And maybe that's why they did it, so he's not on a nationally televised audience.
No, that's a good point. But then again, is Tony Khan going to be able to appease the ego of CM Punk by only having him on a streaming service show?
I don't know how to answer that one.
Speaking of Impact, though, since we brought them up a little bit with the Chris, I guess Scott D'Amore got a promotion.
Yes, he is now the new executive president.
Yes, so
the man in charge of Impact Wrestling.
Congratulations to Scott D'Amore.
So what's going to happen to the authority figure now?
In wrestling? Santino.
Yeah, what's going to happen to him now?
Well, I mean, maybe Scott D'Amore will just stay in the back and be the president and let Santino and Dirty Dango do their thing, because they've been pretty entertaining. And I like the little subtle nod to the Fashion Police that Dirty Dango's doing, where, like, he's trying to cement Impact Wrestling.
Well, maybe.
Oh, Megan's in the chat. Hello, Megan. So, in case you just came in late, do you think that CM Punk would do good in ROH, or do you think he should just stay away from like the wrestling business altogether, at least for a while, till it kind of dies down, if it ever? And then Tony had a... Oh, yeah, I agree. He should stay away. And then Tony had a question from earlier of, do you think I look good as a woman in a dress if I lose that bet going to the Mariners game? So, Bray Wyatt, I know you and I talked about that one when you were here earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, so Megan says I totally look good in a dress at the Mariners game.
Well, you forgot an important one though. Do our fans think you're going to get hit on at the game?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot that one.
That's why I have to take the lead sometimes, you know.
Well, you are the executive producer, so that fits.
Yeah.
So after you left, I heard a little bit more about Bray Wyatt. They're saying that he possibly has an injury, like to his knee, and maybe that's why he hasn't been like seen on SmackDown.
Yeah, that's possibly.
But I do have something to get you a little bit excited.
Oh yeah.
According to Ego, there's a good possibility that on the 7th at the SmackDown after WrestleMania, that Rikishi will be making his return to the WWE.
Ooh. Means I better bring my sunglasses because I'll be dancing.
just as long as you don't get up and start smacking your butt and try to backing it up when you're in your seat, I think we'll be okay.
I'm not sitting by you, so that nothing's too out of bounds.
Well, I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about who's ever sitting behind you.
Well, I guess they'll have to just wait and find out.
Can you imagine telling that to somebody calls the guy behind you on the phone? So, yes, thank you.
Oh, I just came back. What are you doing?
So, can you imagine that though? The guy behind you calls his wife and is like, "So how's the wrestling going, honey?" "Well, it'd be fine, except for this guy dancing his butt in my face."
But anyways, we were gonna just pop on and do a few minutes from the chair, and then we're going to pop into from the chair confessional.
All right.
And we've got a very interesting guest tonight. Somebody I think who's very egotistical and has a big swollen head. Some people would even say perhaps a bit opinionated. But I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to take over the hosting roles for a few minutes, and we're going to conduct a interview with the host of this show, Mr. Nathan Noss.
All right,
in a surprise swerve, that's right. We're going to do an interview with Nathan Noss. And remember, fans, this is an uncensored podcast. So, anything goes.
Yep, that's true. Give me your best shot.
Question number 1. Who inspired you, besides the CARE program and myself, to do this podcast?
Well, as I brought up last night with the interview with Megan, and I've brought up a couple of times, it was actually DJ during one of your men's social groups that you had done previously that told me that I would have a voice for like radio. And the thing is I had done a Temple Gary Wolf from ECW. But after that stopped, I kind of, lost my confidence in doing this a little bit. Plus, I didn't know how to start one myself. So when he said that in the mid social, it kind of reconnected that fire for me to start this up.
Well, that's good. So question number 2. You say that you're such a wrestling fanatic. You couldn't even get in a ring to wrestle. You had to be known as the chairman and book matches. However, I know for a fact yesterday or Saturday, you took your first ever bump as a wrestler.
Yes, I did. Thank you
How did that feel?
Well, based on the fact that I never saw it coming, it was a little jarring. I'm not gonna lie. For those who don't know, the story is that Les Cornwell with the Good Times program at the YMCA, which, by the way, if you have any young people with disabilities that want to have outings, I believe it's every Saturday, or at least some Saturdays. That would be a great program to go to. But he's a guy that I've known for a while. So he came up behind me during their St. Patrick's Day dance on Saturday and hit me with the chair on the back of my wheelchair. And like I said, it was very jarring because, you know, luckily the chair took most of the impact. Um, but it was enough for me to go, what the hell just happened? And then, of course, with Les being tall, it didn't take much to figure it out. But that was an interesting. That was an interesting night for me because at one point he hit me with the chair and during a conga line sat me in a corner next to a fire door. So, yeah, very interesting night.
Yeah, that was a very interesting night in itself. So fans would also want to know maybe a little bit about your life and why you're so you. So I guess the next question will be, what's your infatuation with women named Donna?
That's a good question. I honestly don't know. And my close friends think that's kind of weird because to me, my mom's name is Donna. To tell you the truth, the reason I ended up with the Donna that I dated in high school and then later on tried to barbecue me, as I like to say, although she didn't use barbecue sauce, so maybe that's what she did wrong. Was I'm a sucker for a girl with like a southern accent, right? I again can't explain why that is. It's just one of those things. Um, and so she had a southern accent from Kansas, and deep down she was, and this is gonna be kind of weird for me to say. Deep down, underneath all the issues that she had, there was a very caring person under, you know what I mean, underneath there, and that's the person that I connected with.
Well, the last I knew, geography wise, Kansas would be Midwest, not Southern.
True, but she still had the southern accent.
Okay. Well, what are your plans moving forward for, well, maybe for yourself, maybe for this podcast, maybe for future episodes of this podcast?
Well, for myself, obviously I'm excited to go to the SmackDown with Toadette and Tony on April 7th. I'm also working on and then in June we're going to the Court Carpenter concert here in Kelso, which will be my second Court Carpenter concert, but I'm excited because he puts on a hell of a show every time. And then possibly on June 17th, we might be going to Marysville, Washington to see our very first CPW show at the Strawberry Festival. And I want to say thank you to T-Rex, who I hope to have on this podcast soon, for the invitation. And then coming up next week, we'll have Andrew Young, who I guarantee you will make you guys smile. And then on April 16th, we have Wesley. He says that he knows a lot about 60s professional wrestling. And also recently went on the Jericho cruise, which I'm a little bit jealous over. And then on the 23rd, we have Hellbound's manager and legendary manager from the WCWC, Mr. Tubbs. incredibly excited to have him. I consider that an honor to have him on the podcast, as I know you do, Tony. And we were both huge fans of the WCWC. And I'm really hoping that we could get David Wu on the 30th.
Okay, well, this will conclude this interview from Confessional. Join us on Sunday, like when we said we'd have Mr. Andrew Young. And now back to the wrestling news.
So, what do you think about about AEW getting a third show on Saturday?
Well, that's not news to me because I broke this to you last week or Saturday.
On Saturday, yes, you did. But I did hear some more stuff about it today. That it's possibly going to be. You remember a couple weeks ago we said that they trademarked the name AEW Collision?
Right.
So apparently that's going to be the name of their 1 hour show on Saturday nights.
So it's going to be another 1 hour show. So I think this is great because now you get another hour of content on AEW. And it's something that WWE doesn't have right now. They don't have a Saturday night show or a Sunday night show for that matter, except for their pay-per-views.
Exactly.
So for that matter, smart move on Tony Khan's part. However, I was really hoping it was going to be an hour show for ROH instead of putting them on Fight Club.
Yes, I agree with that. I also like the fact that the rumored time for this 1 hour show is supposed to be the same time that WCW did Saturday night. The 6:05.
Very interesting.
Yes. So I kind of like.
Very interesting.
I like the nostalgia part of that. And I like, again, I'm going to give a shout out to Ango for his show today. He brought up the way he would do the taping schedule for AEW because now they would have an extra show to tape because their Saturday show would be pre-taped. So what he said he would do was he would do AEW Dark after Dynamite. That would be both Dark and Elevation. And then he would have Rampage be live every Friday instead of that being pre-taped. And then tape Collision after Rampage.
So you'd still basically work 2 nights a week. You'd just split them. You'd be off Monday, Tuesday, work Wednesday, do a 3 hour or 4 hour show Wednesday, have Thursday off, do a 2 or 3 hour show on Friday, and then be done the rest of the week unless you have a pay-per-view.
Right. Which actually, I think that's a very doable schedule, and I think that's probably the best way to do it. But I do agree with you. I thought that if they were going to do another 1 hour show, it would have been ROH.
I was really hoping, but maybe he's got bigger plans yet with ROH. I mean, because ROH has still got a couple of intriguing storylines. We already know at Supercard of Honor there's going to be brand new tag team champions.
Yes.
And we already know at Supercard of Honor that there probably is going to be new trios champions because Brian Cage is on the way to WWE.
Right. And that'll be interesting to see who they put up against that Gates of Agony based on the fact that, or the embassy, I mean, based on the fact because they don't really have any established trios in there right now, since they just relaunched the brand
So
again.
yeah, so that's gonna be totally interesting to see. Just their tag team division and their trios division. I mean, I don't think there's gonna be much change with Claudio or Wheeler anytime soon. Samoa Joe, I hear he's got a pretty big test coming up for his TV title.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who they're putting him up against. Isn't it?
You see, I mean, and see, this is why I say that I'm better than you, and you know it, because the man that they're putting up against him is the current 13-time World Tag Team Champion, probably a member of one of the greatest tag teams of all time, Dem Boys, Mark Briscoe.
Okay, yeah. And I'm sorry, AR Fox. I think you're an extremely talented wrestler, but unfortunately, I don't think you're going to be winning the Ring of Honor heavyweight title at Supercard of Honor, because everything I keep hearing says that Eddie Kingston is going to be the next huge challenger for Claudio.
Yeah, I know that they're trying to repackage Eddie Kingston and put him on ROH, and I get that. I think it's probably a good idea just to put him back down there, just to reestablish himself. Let's switch gears here for a minute. One of my other favorite factions, besides, I mean, everybody who knows me by now knows I'm a faction guy. I like the factions,
Right.
Let's go faction here. Let's go probably the hottest free agent right now in wrestling, Mr. Jay White.
Right.
Wonder where do you have an idea where he is going to end up?
Well, that's an interesting question, because when he became a free agent, when he left New Japan, I honestly thought he was going to go to WWE because that's the one place he hadn't been before. But the fact that last Wednesday, they had the Bullet Club music play when Juice Robinson attacked Ricky Starks might be a little Easter egg to the fact that he's going to AEW. Because the reason I say that is because when Juice Robinson came out before, AEW had his own like Titantron and music for him outside of like the Bullet Club. So my question is, why now do they go back to the Bullet Club with the whole symbol and everything if you're not bringing in Jay White?
I agree.
Speaking of Bullet Club, and you and I talked about this a little while back, one second generation wrestler has just recently joined the Bullet Club. And
are you talking about Finlay?
Yes. And that kind of plays into the last thing we talked about, because the AEW tag team division needs, they always need new blood, right? So who's to say they wouldn't bring back Finn Juice under the Bullet Club banner and have Finn Juice go after the Guns or the Acclaim or whoever they have the titles on in AEW? now that they're under the same, the same group.
Is Finley in AEW?
No, but I know he's in New Japan, and I know Tony Khan has a very strong relationship with the New Japan. Within the New Japan, organization. So it wouldn't surprise me to see Finley end up in AEW.
And ladies and gentlemen and fans out there tonight, we do have the real executive producer in the house.
Yes, we do.
So if you hear a baby cry, I'm going to have to let Nathan go because that means he's fired.
Yep. But then if he stops, I'm rehired. So this could be like Crack Holly in the 24/7 title.
So right now he's sleeping, or
But
I guess he's watching WWE with Grandpa. I knew this when I loved this kid.
I do want to give a shout out to one of our first interviewers, Levi Cooper. I just saw a poster today where he'll be teaming with Midnight Heat, which is Ricky Gibson and Eddie Pearl, to take on Rosas and the Dark Order of Evil Uno and Alex Reynolds at a Defy event. I think that's a huge match for Midnight Heat. So good luck to Mr. Cooper and Midnight Heat, which I guess they all are Midnight Heat because they're all in one faction.
Yes, Mr. Levi Cooper, man, he was an awesome interview. I would love our host to bring him back at one time just to get a second interview with Miss Tonette. We miss Tonette. She's been on assignment or whatever you want to say here the last few weeks, and hopefully here soon we will get her back for some of our confessional interviews or some of our wrestling interviews.
I do know that if we go to the Strawberry Festival for the CPW show, she is very interested in going to that one. So maybe we can do something up there.
Well, we already have plans on debuting our first mobile event. Yes, Mr. Knopf. I kept something from you again, just because I'm the executive producer and I can. We're going to debut our first live on location podcast of From the Chair from the Strawberry Festival, hopefully.
Oh, nice.
That's barring we can get up there.
Yes.
Mr. T-Rex has already told us that if he does not have his interview by then, he would love to be one of our first guests on that show.
Nice.
And he's got a few other friends of his in mind to interview at that show also. So maybe we can do a several wrestler interview type question and answer thing at the Strawberry Festival. I also know that Mr. CC Poison has offered us the same thing, an on-location podcast in Astoria at the PNPW, which which I know Nathan and myself and Toinette have graciously accepted.
Yes. And the reason why we haven't like come up with dates for these yet and confirmed yes we're going to be able to go is to give you a little bit more background like we were doing during the confessional thing. With my disability and my wheelchair, it becomes somewhat of a challenge sometimes for transportation. So that's why it's always like a maybe, when we bring up these opportunities.
But they are confirmed they will happen. It's
Yes.
just a matter of when. Hopefully we can get lucky and we can do a post-show or pre-show from SmackDown and maybe run into some people up there. That would be kind of cool.
That would be really cool.
That would be kind of cool to maybe, bump elbows with some WWE staff or officials while we are up there doing our thing in Portland.
Well, let me tell you a little bit of a story about, besides Jerry Lawler, because I've told that story on here before. One of the biggest wrestlers that was actively wrestling when I went up to a Raw up in Portland that I ran into was former WWE superstar, son of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase Jr. And the way I ran into him was we were waiting outside the Moda Center. It was the Rose Garden back then. And all of a sudden you heard like a bunch of commotion, like, around the other side of the building. So of course curiosity gets a hold of you and you want to go see. Well, I could see him holding the $1 Million title because that's what he was doing, the Maurice thing, where they had brought back the $1 Million Championship.
Right.
So I knew who it was. So being as Tony has put it, the egotistical and forthcoming person that I am, I kind of used my electric wheelchair and worked my way to the front of the crowd. And by the time I got done, I was front row when he took a group picture with everybody that was around him. I believe it wasn't long after that he left WWE.
Yeah.
Oh, and I found out today who's going to be inducting Rey Mysterio in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, well, this is breaking news. I haven't even heard this. Okay, who is it?
Conan.
Really?
Yep. Apparently he's healthy enough to do it because that's who Rey wants to do it. Rey went to Triple H and said, the only way I'll go into the Hall of Fame is if Conan inducts me into the Hall of Fame.
Wow. Hang on.
Okay.
Is that you, Nate?
You okay, little man?
I'm sure he's fine. No crying.
Well, he's got a cold. I heard him coughing, so I just wanted to make sure he was okay. Anyways, so moving on. So K-Dog is going to induct Rey.
Yep.
That's pretty interesting because a lot of people you were talking to that about another one of our fans on this show, Mr. Dakota Haynes.
Yes, on Saturday.
And again, fans, for those of you that don't know, Mr. Noss actually got something right.
Yes, because that
was his pick for that's his pick for inducting Rey Mysterio. So he can correctly guess things when he wants to.
I also
but just not when they count. You know.
well, we'll see. If the fans see on my Facebook page me wearing a dress in August at the Mariners game, you know I didn't pick them right.
I'll think of some out clause too, just to make sure he actually does fulfill that dress obligation.
Oh, please, if I lose, there's enough people in the Frontier that just want me to lose so they can see me in a dress so that you wouldn't have to worry about it.
Because there are a lot more pay-per-views between now and August that he can go double for nothing or triple for nothing on.
Wait, if WrestleMania is wearing a dress, I don't want to know what double or nothing is.
Yeah, you're right. You probably don't. Because remember, there are YMCA dances and care dances too.
Well, then I'd put every girl in that place to shave. So getting back to the Hall of Fame, I did hear two other possible inductees
Yeah.
for this year. And that's the Great Muta and Stacy Keibler.
And for another guest on this show, sorry Matt Gravett, but you know, possibility of that happening is probably almost 100% because I've heard that they've already went into final negotiations with her.
Yes, I heard the same thing. And I know the viewers out there, like Tony said, Matt, say that Stacy was never a wrestler, so therefore, you know, maybe she shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. But let's look at what Stacy did in both WCW and the WWE. Okay, so she was with David Flair in WCW and Sean Stasiak. And then when WCW folded in 2001, she was with Test. She was with the Dudley Boys. And, you know, she had a few matches in WCW and WWE. Granted, they weren't straight up wrestling matches, but she still had them. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but other than The Undertaker, isn't she the only one that had an entrance song by Kid Rock?
I think so. No? Okay. Stay there then.
And I'm pretty sure I know who's going to induct Stacy Keibler when she gets inducted. I'm guessing, based on the induction speech that she gave to Tori Wilson, I would see them just flipping that around and having Tori induct her. My question is, who's going to induct the Great Muta?
There are so many great people, you know. I mean, I don't think one of them would happen because, I mean, the obvious choice won't happen because they would have to think of some sort of a trade between companies.
Okay, who
and
you think?
that's Sting.
Yeah. Although Sting is a Hall of Famer, you know what I mean, for WWE, so it's possible that Tony Khan would let that happen. Another one they could use would be Ric Flair.
A two-time Hall of Famer.
And here's one from left field, but probably other than Sting and Ric Flair, his biggest rival would be Masahiro Chono.
Yeah.
So let's do some predicting. We know those three. So who else would you like to see this year in the Hall of Fame?
Well, the other one the other one I've heard that actually has almost a pretty good lock is Dave Bautista.
Yes.
And we already know who's going to induct Mr. Bautista. I mean, if he doesn't, then there's something wrong, but that should be Mr. Hunter himself.
Right. Either him or Flair.
But yeah, I'm kind of a little torn on the celebrity one this year, who they'd put in this for the celebrity wing.
Yeah, I don't really know who they would do for that one either.
And then of course they always do a tag team. So I really don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm actually gonna go with one that with one that kind of Matt said, I wouldn't mind seeing, even though they didn't wrestle for WWE, seeing the Russians inducted of like the Koloffs and Crusher Khrushchev.
well, and here's something out of left field. Again, just because, you know, you've got our creative juices flowing. And it should happen. And I don't know if ROH is going to do it, but it should happen. But I feel Dim Boys should be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Well, they're already in the ROH Hall of Fame.
Oh, yes, they are, aren't they? Okay, I stand corrected.
That they went in the same year that CM Punk and Samoa Joe and Bryan Danielson went in.
No, yes, I forgot. Yeah, again, I stand corrected.
Okay, here's one for you on tag teams. We just saw Christian lose that last burial match, and we think that he's gonna come back over and then retire, right?
Edge and Christian, yes.
Yes, that's where I was going with that.
But then do you put Christian in by himself and make him a two-time Hall of Famer, because you already know that Edge would go if he goes in as Edge, you know, part of E and C.
No offense to Christian, but I don't know if he had the level of the career that Edge had as a singles wrestler to put him in twice.
I would almost have to agree with you, as much as I hate agreeing with you on this show.
Another one that I would like to see in the Hall of Fame, just because of the groups that he was a part of and created, is the Vampire Warrior Gangrel.
Looks like they're about ready to set another match up for WrestleMania.
Which would be some more breaking.
Huh?
I said which is, and then I said breaking news, ladies and gentlemen.
Rey Mysterio is making an appearance on Raw.
Oh.
So this should set up the Rey versus Dominic mask versus career match.
It's possible, but I kind of like, again, I'm going to be saying this a lot today because he made a lot of good points today on his show. I kind of like what Ego said they should do. You know how they keep drawing this out where Rey would doesn't want to wrestle Dominic, and whatever. So what if they pulled that all the way out until the Hall of Fame? Like Ray's doing his speech and he gets through all the stuff, thanking Angie and thanking everybody that helped him and all the people that, he wrestled it, from Conan to Guerrera and so forth. And then right at the end, as he's about ready to walk away, Dominic, takes him out. And Ray just reaches his boiling point, and then they make that match for
Yeah.
Or if they do make the match tonight, maybe you save the stipulation of the mask versus career for the Hall of Fame. So we know that they're gonna do a singles match, but then after Dominic attacks him, Ray says, "You know what? I'm tired of this." Right? If you beat me, you'll get my mask, and I retire. If then, we're done as far as this whole game goes.
Right.
I'm waiting to see when they're finally going to pull the trigger on this tag team thing with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn going up against the Bloodline.
Kevin Owens came out again tonight and actually said that he didn't want any help in the main event tonight from either Sami or Cody.
So what's the main event?
A street fight with Solo.
Ooh, nice main event, WWE. So I guess the big question is, do you believe the fact that they're going to stay away?
No.
Well, I didn't mean you stay away.
Not at all. Sorry, I'm eating.
Oh, it's all right. And from what I've been hearing today, we brought up Rikishi earlier. The premature story about him coming back is that after WrestleMania, he's going to come back and basically read the riot act to the Usos, going, "Why are you in an acting like you've been acting? None of it to Roman Reigns, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my boys wouldn't be acting like this. You know what I mean?" And then, so thinking about that would be kind of cool if they did it that way, because then, Roman could be in the ring, like say the Bloodline is saying goodbye to Roman as he gets ready to take his vacation. So he's starts reading the Usos the riot act, and Roman steps up to Rikishi like, "I'm the head of the table," and Rikishi just looks at him like, "You better recognize who I am."
And fans, I promise you, if Rikishi shows up on the 7th, and if we do a post match live, I promise you, fans, I will stink face the chairman live on the post match.
Okay, we glitched. I'm sorry. We're gonna fix that soon. So what'd you say?
Yeah, nice try. Okay, I know the fans heard it, but you might not have. I go, if Rikishi does show up on the 7th, like the chairman has promised, and we go live on a post-match from the chair, I promise you, fans, I will stink face the chairman.
I don't think so. Because no, my luck, that's when we need a bean burrito, a bunch of onions, some sauerkraut, and whatever other thing you can eat.
Oh, you want me to sign it? Okay, I'll sign it, Trey. It's official.
Keep in mind, though, I have to eat at Chick-fil-A afterwards. I don't want to lose my appetite right before.
So that's right, fans. If Rikishi shows up, I promise on the post show, Nathan Noss will get a stink face.
You know the only
on
problem.
Camera.
You know the only problem I see with that, other than the fact that I don't want your butt in my face. We're gonna be outside the Moda Center, yes?
Yes.
Your luck, some cop would be driving by and arrest you for indecent exposure. Yeah, that'd be one hell of a phone call to Amber. Amber, we're on our way back, but Tony's not with us. We don't really know how
who says it's going to be in the streets? Who says it can't be in the parking garage?
Damn, I forgot we're going to be in a parking garage. They still have cameras.
I'd probably break the camera.
Can you imagine some security guy sitting in an office monitoring what's going on in the parking garage going, oh, that's nice. They're letting that disabled guy into his car. Why is that guy dropping his pants?
No, don't do it. No, yeah, do it.
Next thing you hear is the security guard go, hello, we need to get a message from Mr. Rikishi. Somebody's giving somebody a stink face in the parking garage. Next thing you hear is the doors fly open and he looks at you and goes, hey, that's my thing.
Okay, here, Mr. Rikishi, I'll lay the chair down for you. You do it yourself.
And that's when you see me reenact the Booker T segment from when he got the stink face from Rikishi.
But hang on, Mr. Rikishi. I got to get your glasses because we're dancing afterwards.
Can you imagine me having to come back to the frontier and somebody goes, so how was your night? You don't want to know. I've seen things.
Oh, how was Nathan's nice here? Look at it on the podcast and for everybody to see.
My mom's like, oh, that's nice. They're getting you involved.
Son, why does your forehead have brown on it and a signature?
Hey, I go all out to get an autograph.
So the Hall of Fame is going to be Friday the 31st.
Yep. Because Saturday is stand and deliver.
Ooh, next Wednesday on the bump, the next inductee announcement from the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Woo!
Well, that'll be Batista.
That one should be Batista, yes.
To be fair, though, going back to the Rikishi thing, the last time I did the Rikishi dance, I was Grandmaster Sexay.
Who said you'd be involved?
Oh, come on. After the stink face, you're not even going to let me be involved in the dance?
Nope, that'd be mine and Tonette's playing.
Well, I'd rather take a... No offense, Mae Young, you were a great wrestler, and I hope you're resting well up there. But I'd rather take a stink face from Rikishi than a Bronco Buster from Mae Young. Just ask Eric Bischoff and the Mystery Fish.
Yes, I remember that. So moving on, I mean, I know that we get off topic when it's just us talking, but you know, hey,
That's kind of the outsider part.
And surprisingly enough, we still have fans and they still enjoy listening to you talk, which sometimes surprises me.
Me too. So, let's talk about a six-man that Impact put together for this week. It's Frankie Kazarian, the Impact World Champion Josh Alexander, and Rich Swann versus Chris Bay, Ace Austin, and Kenta.
Oh, yeah?
On paper, should be a very, very good match.
Should be.
And have you heard who Josh Alexander's next opponent is? And I'm not talking about Steve Maclin at Sacrifice.
Well, that's what I heard was Macklin, but no, who's the other one?
Former WWE Cruiserweight Champion Kushida.
Oh, really?
Yes, during WrestleMania weekend, Impact and New Japan are having the multiverse of matches
Yes.
again.
Yes.
And Kushida gets the title shot at that. Which I said a minute ago that on paper that six-man should be a good match. I have no doubt in my mind that could tear the house down.
And here comes Dominic.
Oh, there it is. So, did you hear about the two legal battles Oh, yeah, that's the other. Yeah, the two legal battles that WWE are in right now.
No.
Well, a couple weeks ago, Corey Graves called Liv Morgan the Queen of Extreme because she started doing more extreme.
Oh,
stuff.
yes. Yep, I remember that.
Well, the only problem with that is that Francine has been using the Queen of Extreme moniker for like 30 years.
Oh, yep.
And so technically they haven't broken any laws yet because it's not trademarked, but she's in the process of trademarking it. And she's already in the process of writing up a cease and desist order, apparently, for when she hasn't trademarked for WWE to stop. The other legal issue they're in as far as trademark goes right now is, you remember how they keep calling Austin Theory, or at least they did a few weeks ago, how they called him the Now?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently there's an independent tag team that since 2016 has been using the nickname or their team name is the Now.
Yeah.
And so they've already sent 2, not 1, but 2, mind you, cease and desist orders to WWE to stop calling Austin Theory the Now. And that, to tell you the truth, the Austin Theory John Cena match is the one that I'm nervous about the bet that we have.
Okay.
Because everything in me, storyline wise, says that John Cena should win. Right? I mean, he wants to tie Ric Flair. It'd be a good way to get the title off of Theory for, however short a time. And it would raise the ratings of Raw a little bit because you'd see a little bit more of John Cena. Which I know Megan would like, who was on our podcast yesterday. As would I. The only thing that's holding me up is John Cena just released a trailer for a new Commando movie that he's going to be doing. And, he's got a lot of other projects that are in the works. So, I don't know if WWE's going to pull the trigger on that, knowing how busy his schedule is.
Right.
So that's the one that I'm a little bit nervous over.
Well, I've also heard there's another match that's supposed to be being announced here soon, but they haven't announced it yet.
Which is?
I know they're in the works of like an LA Knight and Stone Cold or Stone Cold wrestling somebody at Mania.
Oh God, that would be interesting.
Thank you.
Okay, so breaking news that just popped up on my computer before we finish that sentence. Squared Circle from Fightful, which is Sean Ross Sapp, just confirmed that Bray Wyatt is out with an injury. But they haven't confirmed exactly what he's injured with and if he'll miss WrestleMania. So you were saying about LA Knight and Stone Cold?
I think it's supposed to be LA Knight and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think that's the rumored match, but I know that Stone Cold was supposed to have a rumored match this year.
That would be a really intriguing match to me. My guess for that one would, although I'd have to see how they do the story, and actually there's not a lot of time to really build one, so maybe it would just be a match. My guess with that one was I think Austin would be okay putting LA Knight over in that one, so I would have to go with LA Knight. My question with that breaking news that I just read, if Bray Wyatt's injured, what do you do with Bobby Lashley for WrestleMania?
Maybe you put him up against the host of WrestleMania.
Bobby Lashley and the Fizz, as Toadette likes to say. Or does this force WWE to speed up their plans and finally reveal that Mo Dallas or Eric Young or Uncle Howdy?
Interesting.
and you have Uncle Howdy take on Bobby Lashley at Mania. Because if you remember, I think it was 2 weeks ago that Uncle Howdy attacked Bobby Lashley.
Yes, he did.
And that's happened before, where because of circumstances that are out of their control, WWE's had to kind of speed up their plans on storylines.
Right.
So let's do a little story time here for a minute. I'm going to ask you a question since you asked me a bunch of questions yesterday. What was your favorite match of all time, WWE or otherwise, and what was like the match that you went, man, I wish I never would have saw that one?
There are so many good matches of WWE, but anything that had those damn cheerleaders in the Attitude Era in them was probably the most garbage matches, I would say.
Yeah.
But there are so many good. I mean, do I go with Undertaker, Shawn Michaels? Do I go with Shawn Michaels retiring Ric Flair? Do we go with Undertaker's last match at WrestleMania? Do we go with Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship? When Seth Rollins cashed in Money in the Bank? Do we go with Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior? Do we go with Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant? There are so many good WWE matches, but so I don't know how to answer that one, honestly.
Well, I'll give you mine. My favorite match was the Iron Man match, the very first one between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 12.
Good.
Because I thought that one was a wonderful match to like tell a story.
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead.
And my least favorite match, I have two of them. One was in WWE and one was in WCW. My least favorite match in WWE was the one that Megan brought up yesterday, which was the Shawn Michaels Rick Martel match from SummerSlam '92, where they wouldn't hit each other in the face.
Oh yeah.
And my least favorite match, and this is saying a lot, especially since we lived through the Vince Russo booking days in WCW. But my least favorite match in WCW happened in early days of WCW when they brought in RoboCop as Sting's partner.
Yeah. Trey. Yeah, here comes little man.
Yay!
But yeah, I think he's, yeah. Which means my blank is probably now.
So we like to talk about this a lot on the podcast, but I thought about this today. When do you think that John Moxley will finally take his vacation?
I have no idea. I don't think Moxley is going. I mean, I don't know. They've been teasing Moxley taking a vacation for the longest time now. I don't know if they're actually going to let it. I don't know if I don't know if AEW is going to let him or not.
Well, I don't think they're going to do it right away, because especially not now, because he just turned heel with the rest of the Dark Order.
You mean BCC?
Or sorry, BCC. They turned heel on the Dark Order.
His double bag's right here, I think. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably going to be a little bit of time before he does actually take his vacation. Unlike Roman Reigns, to where they're going to let him take vacation as soon as he loses.
I think the best person that's going to benefit from the BCC turning heel is Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Well, the reason I say that is because we've already seen Moxley as a heel in WWE. We've seen Claudio as a heel in ROH and in WWE. But we've never really seen Wheeler Yuta as a heel.
Right.
So this Wednesday, we're going to have a rebranding of a championship between Orange Cassidy and Double J Jeff Jarrett. Who do you think wins and why?
And that's, again, a tough one because, you know, I mean, I think Orange ultimately pulls it out just because of everything. But, you know, Jeff Jarrett, one more title run. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me.
See, I would have said Jeff Jarrett, although I wouldn't be opposed if Orange Cassidy wins it. I think Jeff Jarrett has more connection, right, to get the bigger matches and stuff, and to sell the most tickets. Unless I'm mistaken, I don't think Orange Cassidy has really established himself like in other countries.
Right.
So you and I have talked about this. Who do you think's going to be in that Reach for the Sky ladder match? Other than
Well, we already know Lucha's in. You know, personally, and maybe a little selfishly, I'd like to see the Gates of Destiny.
Yeah.
Again, I'd like to see the Kingdom.
Right.
Maybe we do a Christ Brothers. Maybe we do, and I don't know how many teams they're going to put in it.
Do what? I think you froze. There you go.
I said a Christ Brothers.
Ooh. I like that one. I have one that I heard about on Flat Rock Wrestling, which is another rumor wrestling show I listen to on a daily basis. Make you pretty interested, and me also. I guess AEW is kind of dropping the storyline with Ethan Page and Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, Matt Hardy's being pulled off the road for a while to build up for something. You think that they would pull him off the road till the 31st? And then have the Broken Hardy show up in Ring of Honor? Kind of like they did their first time in Ring of Honor and enter that ladder match? Delete! I take that as a yes.
You are in Bed with Wheels or Wheels with Bed.
I love his promos when he's the broken Matt Hardy.
Table with wheels you have your computer on.
In fact, I remember that the
Coming off, I knew you'd come.
That's exactly what, not the Brother Nos part, but that's exactly the line he used when they made their debut ring. It was broken Matt Hardy up on the Titantron that said, and he said, "I knew you'd come," and then like the whole place just exploded.
Delete.
I take it by your response, you would be thrilled with that. And again, so would I.
Mounjaro is not for people with type 1 diabetes or children. Don't take Mounjaro if you're allergic to it. You or your family.
I want to do that one night. I want to do the podcast in broken character just one time.
Okay, so let's ask our fans. If anybody's watching out there, because sometimes you guys can slip in without the counter telling us. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you want Tony to do next week's podcast.
Not
Monday.
next week. I said sometime.
Okay, fine.
But I promise, if you let me do this, by the end of the podcast, I will delete Mr. Nos.
Okay, so give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Or maybe even in the comments if you guys watch this later on Facebook or YouTube. Give us a thumbs up or thumbs down if you guys want him to do that at some point on the podcast.
We're sorry, we're having technical difficulties with Mr. Nos right now. I guess he was deleted. So coming up on this podcast, we have Mr. Andrew Young, Chief Smiles Officer of the State ALC for the Washington State Special Olympics.
Yes, we do.
Then we have coming up Wesley, a wrestling encyclopedia and a guru that knows 50s and 60s wrestling. We're so proud to bring him on.
Absolutely.
Then we've got Mr. Tubbs coming on, a manager from the WCWC days and also manager of Hellbound right now in Blue Collar Wrestling and many other promotions here in Washington State. And as we can tell, Mr. Noss is still having technical difficulties because he's been deleted from this podcast.
I'm very excited to have Mr. Tubbs on. And contrary to popular belief, I do not have a stuttering problem based on the muting.
And he's gone again, y'all.
No, I'm back.
What happens if I remove from stream?
No, because then I'd have to go. I think I have to click back on.
I could totally delete him from this podcast. Oh, I know what I can do.
Hey!
Hey, that didn't work out.
What'd you try to do?
That didn't work out. Anyways, no big deal. Anyways, we can tell Mr. Noss is back from his technical difficulties. So welcome back, Mr. Noss.
Thank you.
For some people, you may have been missed, but for me, you weren't missed.
And that's funny. We thought going into this, the Frontiers internet would be my biggest technical difficulty.
Yeah. No, that's right. Your executive producer does have a lot more power than everybody thinks he has in this show.
So, Mr. EC3 has been a very busy person. Not only is he controlling his narrative and feuding with Tom Latimer, he's also in OVW.
Wow.
Although I have to agree with Mr. Gravitt, who we had on the podcast before. OVW really needs to kind of pick up their storylines a little bit. It was kind of the only time since I've been watching a wrestling that I can only make it through half the show before I got kind of bored of everything else on YouTube.
Well, I mean, let's be honest here. You know, Mr. Al Snow, a man that loves Mannequin Head, is the content officer, I believe, of OVW. So anything's possible.
And again, no offense to Mr. Al Snow, I don't need you to come to the Frontier and try to take me out with a mannequin head. Do you know that Al Snow was the only WWE wrestler to ever have his action figure taken off the shelves at Walmart?
Well, yeah, because wasn't it because of the head comment or whatever it was?
Because the action figure had a woman's mannequin head in it.
Yeah.
I did hear also today that both Kofi Kingston and will more than likely miss WrestleMania, which pretty much puts it into the rumored match. If Ronda does miss it, that would obviously put it into the rumored match between her and Shayna Baszler and whoever is the women's tag champions.
Why would she miss WrestleMania?
Well, apparently she has a hairline fracture in her arm. And Kofi has a severely sprained ankle that'll take about 5 weeks to heal.
Interesting.
And so there's obviously it's a bummer for Kofi and Ronda that that they're gonna miss WrestleMania. But the two other people I feel bad for are Shayna Baszler and Xavier Woods. Because maybe you could put Shayna in a kickoff match, which I think they should do for WrestleMania, especially if Triple H wants to go with I'm a snowblower.
Technical difficulties, fans.
Although, if we're going down that road, let's go. We did say this was uncensored.
Technical difficulties there, fans. Sorry.
So, getting back to what I'm saying, so we don't get kicked off of YouTube, if anybody sees it. The two people I feel sorry for are Shayna Baszler, because unless you put Shayna in a kickoff match, she doesn't have any build for any matches on the actual, main card of WrestleMania. Because it was anticipated that she would be in the match with Ronda and Damage Control or Lita and Becky Lynch. And as far as Xavier Woods goes, you could put him in a singles match, but it wouldn't carry the weight that like a match with the New Day would have carried in at WrestleMania. So I'm going to go into the future a little bit here. We know that in May, that in Saudi Arabia, I believe it's the 6th, the WWE is having the King and the Queen premium live event.
Yep.
I have a prediction for the King of the Ring.
Okay.
My prediction for the King of the Ring is Mr. L.A. Knight.
You didn't do it right, and this is why I produced this show. It's L.A. Knight, dummy. Yeah.
Well, see, I was saving that for you. That's why I didn't do it that way. And I'll tell you the reason why I think that. I think the reason that I think he'll be the King of the Ring is Triple H said that whoever wins the King of the Ring this year, it'll be worth something. So I did with Brock Lesnar in 2002. Maybe they give the winner a title shot.
Or because, again, they're trying to split the titles. Maybe they get a match for and not against Cody, but maybe they get a match for the vacated one, whichever title Cody decides to vacate.
Ooh, thinking of that, could you imagine a match for, like, say Cody keeps the Universal title, so it's for the WWE Championship, between Seth Rollins and LA Knight?
Yeah, that would be a good match.
That would be a really good match. Just the mic work alone.
Yeah, you're right, absolutely.
Now, I'm going to throw an extreme dark horse, and they would have to build her up more. And maybe this is more of a heartfelt pick more than a logical pick, based on how much she's been through since she came to WWE. I would like to see like a complete out of left field Tegan Nox become the Queen of the Ring.
Ooh.
I mean, that would, and you would thinking about the build up. I wouldn't even build her up. I would just let her be like an entrant in there that nobody thinks that she's gonna win it, and she like runs the table and wins it and like blows everybody's mind.
Interesting. I like that, yeah.
And I think one of her victories in that tournament to finally put a closure to that story that's been going on forever that they keep dropping and going back to, mainly because of the injuries that Tegan Nox has had. One of her victories would be against Dakota Kai. You know, to finally finish off that long drawn out story. And you know who I would put in the finals with her? That would really make everybody go, holy crap, she just beat this person?
Yeah, who's that?
That would be somebody that yesterday brought up, Miss Alexa Bliss.
Interesting.
I'll tell you what, because I know a lot of people thought I was going to say Charlotte Flair. But I'll tell you why I said Alexa Bliss. One, I think Alexa Bliss and Tegan Nox could have a phenomenal match. And two, I remember how over Alexa Bliss was. I believe it was only one time she's wrestled over in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And so maybe Alexa's on the fence about whether to go with Uncle Howdy or not, right?
Right.
And she comes back and she's all cheerful, like, you know, I needed time away to focus on myself and kind of forget about Uncle Howdy. And then she loses to Tegan Nox in Saudi Arabia. And that's when she completely snaps all the way, right? Kind of like where she's like, man, I've tried so hard to fight this, you know, all the time. Yes, Uncle Howdy helped me get close to win against Bianca Belair. But I literally went away and I did my thing with my husband and I tried to distance myself. But now when I come back, I can't beat Tegan Nox to win the Queen of the Ring. You know? And then she could end it with a line from Uncle Howdy. she could say, yeah, maybe I wasn't in control. Because if you remember, that's the last thing that Uncle Howdy said to Alexa Bliss before she took her hiatus.
Right, yeah.
And that concludes my fantasy booking for my extended fantasy booking. My apologies if that went too long. I kind of got on a roll. So we were talking yesterday about WWE 2K 2023. The new one coming out.
Yeah.
Which I saw something on Facebook from Megan today that said it's coming out in 7 days. Might have been a late post because I think it actually comes out. Well, the early edition comes out, I believe, tomorrow.
Yeah, the gold edition or the best. Yeah.
So my question to you is: you said you were excited to play the War Games match.
Yes, I am.
So, who are you going to put your first War Games match?
It depends on if I cheat and buy all the characters first, because I would love to get all the old time wrestlers that are going to be involved in it. I'm not even sure what the roster is. I'm not even sure what the roster is yet. I'd have to.
I do know the pre-order bonus is Bad Bunny.
Over on Mom's side, I think. So, oh, yeah.
What'd you find?
Ooh. Definitely gonna have to get it.
Why? What'd you find?
I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but have you noticed what's in the downloadable content or the DLC pack?
No, I haven't heard much about that.
The first pack includes Wade Barrett,
Ooh,
Eve Torres,
okay.
Zeus, it looks like.
Really? That's an interesting combination.
It might be Zeus. I'm not sure.
I might have to. And
one of the greatest tag teams of all time.
the Steiner brothers. Oh, yeah.
So, to answer your question. Oh, okay. So here's downloadable content number 1. It's called the Steiner Row Pack. So you get Rick and Scott, and then you get
Right.
Adonis, B-Fab, and Top Dollar.
Hit Row.
And then the second pack is the Pretty Sweet package.
Okay.
You get Tiffany Stratton,
Okay.
Kit Wilson and Elton Prince,
Pretty deadly.
and Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows.
The OC.
The OC, yep. And okay, so Race to NXT pack.
Uh-oh.
You've got Trick Williams, Ivy
Ooh.
Nile,
Ooh.
Tony D'Angelo,
Ooh, okay.
and Wendy Choo.
I wonder if she'll bring her pillow.
And the fifth person in that
Yeah?
is the King, Harley Race.
No.
I wouldn't lie to you.
Wow.
The
No, I
fifth
didn't think
pack-
you were.
Okay, so then the fourth pack is Reveal with Wyatt pack. So you've got Blair Davenport.
Okay.
So I was right. It's Blair Davenport, Zeus, Joe Gracie, Valhalla,
Oh,
and Bray Wyatt.
nice.
Downloadable pack number 5
they got-
is Bad News U pack. So
Okay.
Andre Chase, Damian Kemp,
Okay.
Nathan Frazier,
Nice.
Eve Torres, and
Nice.
Mr. Nos, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Wade Barrett.
Yep.
Nice. Well, that means I'm going to have to save some money. Down the
Oh, and
line,
then you've
I will
got,
do-
and then you've
but I
got so the
definitely will
WWE, and then you've got a WWE 2K23 Ruthless Aggression pack.
Ooh.
And this one here you're gonna have to buy, but it's Brock Lesnar, Latavius, which was Batista in the day,
Yeah.
Randy Orton,
Ooh.
and the prototype John Cena.
Oh, nice.
And then, as you said, you've got Bray
Nice.
Wyatt.
Yeah.
So, moving on, here's the list of superstars confirmed for the game.
Okay.
You've got Andre Chase,
All right.
Ashanti Adonis, B-Fab, Bad Bunny,
Okay.
Blair Davenport, Bray Wyatt, Brock Lesnar, Damon Kemp,
Okay.
Elton Prince, Eva Torres, Harley Race, Ivy Nile, Joe Gracie, Carl Anderson, Kit Wilson, Latavius, Batista, Luke Gallows, Nathan Frazier, Randy Orton of the 2000 era, or of 2002. You've got Rick and Scott Steiner. You've got the prototype John Cena, Tiffany
Nice.
Stratton,
Nice.
Top Dollar, Trick Williams, Valhalla, Wade Barrett, Wendy Choo,
Nice.
Zeus, and that's just the downloadable content. Now let's go to the actual. Now let's actually go to the actual roster. Okay, so the actual roster so far, all 245 people. You've got in a manager mode.
That's a big roster for WWE.
You've got in the manager mode, Adam Pearce.
Interesting.
You've got AJ Styles. You've got Tozawa. You've got Alba Fire.
Ooh, nice.
You've got Alexa Bliss. You've got Alea. And then, of course, you already knew about Andre Chase. You've got the eighth wonder,
Aaliyah.
or you've got Aliyah. You've got Andre the Giant.
Ooh.
You've got Angel. You've got Angelo Dawkins, Apollo Crews, Asuka, Austin Theory, Axiom.
Oh, yes, I was hoping Axiom.
You've got the 90, so you've got Batista, and then you got the 08 Batista. You've got Ding Dong Hello,
Bailey.
You've got Becky Lynch.
Got it.
You've got Beth Phoenix.
Okay.
Bianca Belair. And Nathan, if you're ever down in Cobb County, Georgia, and you're doing hard time, this is going to come find you.
You got the big boss man.
You got the big. Hang on a sec. Sorry, Cheyenne Paul. Okay. So you've got Big E.
Okay.
You've got, in manager mode, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yes.
You've got Bobby Lashley.
Okay.
And then one of my all-time favorite WWE wrestlers, just because he was weird. I'm the boogeyman. I'm coming to get you.
Keep him away from Booker T.
And that brings me to the next guy, Booker T.
I swear I didn't plan that.
So then you've got Braun Strowman.
Okay.
Bret the Hitman Hart.
All right.
Brie Bella.
Got it.
Then you've got the British Bulldog.
Ooh, nice.
And then you've got Brock Lesnar 03, Brock Lesnar 2014. And then, of course, with the downloadable pack, you've got Brock Lesnar of 2001.
Right.
The next couple of wrestlers I know you're going to enjoy. So you've got Rick Son, Von Breaker. You've got Bruno Sammartino. You can wrestle as Bruno Sammartino.
Oh, interesting.
Brutus Creed. Butch. Hey, man.
Nice.
Cactus Jack.
Okay. Okay.
Cameron Grimes. And then you've got Carmella.
Nice.
Carmelo Hayes.
Nice.
Cedric Alexander.
Okay.
And then, hey, Nos. Shush, please.
Chad Gable.
And then you've got Charlotte Flair.
Okay.
Oh, the next one's kind of near and dear to my heart. Miss China.
Oh, that makes me tear up a little bit.
Commander RAZ.
Yeah.
Cora Jade.
Yep. Ooh, I know her.
And then the man that's in both video games being released this year, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, that's a rarity.
Cruz del Toro,
Okay. Part of Legado del Fantasma.
Dakota Kai,
All right.
Damian Priest.
Okay.
Of course, you knew about Kemp,
Yep.
Dana Brooke,
Okay.
Dexter Loomis,
Dexter Loomis. The modern day Jake the Snake Roberts.
then, now you get into some of the good ones. Diesel,
Oh, yes. Yes.
Dolph Ziggler,
Okay.
Doink the Clown, Dominique Mysterio. I'm just going to call her by who she
I
is
believe
now.
that's Dominic's debut.
Yep, in this one, yeah. I'm just going to call her who she is now. What is her name? Piper Nevin, but in the game she's Dewdrop.
Okay, so I'll be changing that when I get the game.
Drew Gulak, Drew McIntyre,
Okay. All right.
two versions of Latino Heat.
Eddie Guerrero.
You get Eddie Guerrero and Eddie Guerrero 97.
Interesting. That means you can get
You
the Halloween Havoc Eddie Guerrero.
You get two versions of Edge. You get Edge, and then you get Edge of 06. And then a man I think making his debut in this game also. Hello everyone. I'm Elias.
No, I think Elias was in last year.
Oh, okay. And then you've got Elton Prince.
Yep. Definitely making his debut.
And then you've got, as a playable character, Eric Bischoff.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't have manager on there. It doesn't have manager on there, so.
That one surprises me.
And then you got Eric.
Okay.
And then, are you ready for this?
Yes.
Elias's brother is making his debut in the game. That's right. Ezekiel is in the game.
Ezekiel had to be in 2K23.
No. Then you got Farouk.
Ooh, damn.
Finn Balor.
Oh, that means we'll get the. That means we'll get the demon.
Gigi Dolan.
Ooh.
Giovanni Vinci.
Okay.
Goldberg.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Nathan, but there's a Grayson Waller sighting.
Oh, Lord. Well, I know who's going to be my jobber.
Gunther.
Gotcha.
Happy Corbin.
Okay. Okay.
Harley Race, as you already knew.
Right. Which I'm very happy about. You still there? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I just lost the audio from you for a minute.
Yeah, my one died. Okay, so after Hulk Hogan, you got Humberto.
Okay.
I have no idea. Dragovaio or whatever his name is.
Dragunov?
Yep, Dragunov. Andy Hartwell.
Okay.
Then of course you have to have Ivar.
Of course.
Then you got Io Sky,
Okay.
JC Jane.
Okay.
Oh my God, now you're getting into some big time. Jake the Snake Roberts.
Ooh, yeah. I see a tag team of my future.
And then after Jake, you've got JBL.
Okay.
And then after JBL, you have JD Madonna or McDonough.
JD McDonough.
McDonough, yep. Then you've got Jean-Paul Levesque.
Ooh, Triple H.
You're one of your favorite commentators and the man you went speechless for.
Jerry the King Lawler.
Jerry the King Lawler.
Yep.
Jimmy and Jay Uso.
Okay.
To complete the Hart Foundation, you've got Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Nice.
Jinder Mahal. Joaquin Wilde.
Okay. Okay.
John Cena.
Okay.
John Cena 02, John Cena 03, John Cena 06, John Cena 08, John Cena 09, John Cena 12, John Cena 14, John Cena 16, John Cena 18. That's a lot, John Cena.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what happens when you become the cover athlete of WWE 2K24.
Gargano, Julius Creed, Kane, Kane 08, Karrion Kross, Conte Chance.
Okay, Katana Chance.
Caden Carter.
Okay.
Kevin Nash.
Okay.
Kevin Nash NWO.
Nice.
Kevin Owens.
Okay.
Kingston.
Okay.
Kurt Angle.
Okay.
Okay. So Kofi, Kurt Angle, LA Knight.
Right. Yeah.
Lacey Evans, Lita.
Nice.
Liv Morgan, Logan Paul, Kaiser.
Okay.
Mace as Mace.
Not Monsway or Mansois.
Or I'm sorry, yeah, it's MA.CE, so I think it's Mansois.
Okay.
Yeah. Macho Man.
Nice.
Madcap Moss.
Okay.
Mansoor.
Okay.
Maurice.
Okay.
Matt Riddle.
Okay.
Mighty Holly.
Nice.
Molly Holly,
Interesting.
Montez Ford,
Okay.
and then you've got manager Mr. McMahon and playable Mr. McMahon,
Mr. McMahon.
Mustafa Ali,
Gotcha.
MVP as a playable,
Okay.
Natalia,
Nice.
Nikki ASH,
Gotcha.
Nikki Bella,
Nice.
hold on, Nikita Lyons,
Nice. I was hoping they put her on there.
Nomar Dar,
Noam Dar.
Omos,
Okay.
Otis, not Otis,
Okay.
manager edition, Paul Heyman,
Okay.
Queen Zelina,
Okay.
R-Truth,
Right.
Randy Orton 09,
Okay. All right.
Raquel Rodriguez,
Got it.
hey y'all, Razor
Scott Hall.
Ramon,
Oh. Okay.
Reggie,
Ooh.
now you've got Rey Mysterio
Yes.
and Rey Mysterio Jr. in the purple and Phantom mask.
Well, she'd kill me if I didn't cut you off and say hello to Alyssa. Or
Oh.
18.
Rhea Ripley, Rick Boggs,
Yep.
Ricochet,
Got ya.
Ridge Holland,
Okay.
the man that you say is returning on April 7th in SmackDown, Mr. Rikishi.
Yeah. Okay.
RVD,
Nice.
Robert Roode,
The glorious Robert Roode.
Roman Reigns,
Okay.
Ronda Rousey,
Nice.
Roxanne Perez,
Oh, Tonette's going to go nuts over that one.
Roddy Piper,
Oh, damn.
Sami Zayn, and then, of course, Escobar,
Okay.
manager mode of Scarlett,
Santos Escobar. Ooh, nice. Although I'm a little disappointed they didn't make her a wrestleable, playable character.
So you've got Scott Hall, and then you've got Scott Hall NWO,
Nice.
Seth Rollins, or I'm
Okay.
sorry, Seth freaking Rollins,
Right.
Shane O'Mac,
Okay.
Shanky,
Okay.
Shawn Michaels 05,
Okay. All right.
Shayna Baszler,
Okay.
Sheamus,
All right.
Shelton Benjamin,
All right.
Shinsuke Nakamura,
Ooh, nice.
Chauncey,
Okay. Wonder if
Solo
she'll have
Sikoa.
the tank. Ooh,
Solo Sikoa,
Nice.
Sonya Deville,
Okay.
Stacy Keibler,
Ooh, yeah.
Stephanie McMahon
Okay.
as a manager,
Got it.
Stone Cold Steve Austin,
Okay.
Super Cena,
Right.
Six,
Okay.
T-Bar, Tamina,
Okay.
Ted DiBiase.
All right. Gotcha.
My God, there's still more.
Interesting.
Hurricane, Miz,
Okay.
The Rock 12,
Interesting.
Titus O'Neil,
Okay.
somebody you thought should be in the game, to Thomas Ciampa.
Yes.
You can't have it without Triple H being in the game, and the Triple H version of 2008 in the version, and you still can't have him in the game without being a manager. So you've got Triple H in it 3 times. Well, technically
Right.
4 times if you do the Levesque character.
Yeah.
Trish Stratus,
Okay.
Tyler Bates, Tyler Breeze,
Okay.
Ultimate Warrior,
Ooh.
Umaga,
Umaga.
every edition of Undertaker, from Undertaker with the hat to Undertaker of 03 to Undertaker of 18 to Undertaker of 98. So every edition of The Undertaker.
Got ya.
It's time. It's Veda. Time.
Nice.
Veer Mahan,
Okay.
Wes Lee,
Okay.
X-Pac,
Ooh.
and then the last 4 to be announced. I think it's the last 4. Yep, last 4. Xavier Woods, X-Lay, or whatever her name is.
Xia Li.
Xia Li, yep. Part of the Bloodline, again.
Okay.
Yokozuna.
Oh. I see another tag team on my future.
And Zoe Stark.
Nice.
And that also includes the Bad Bunny.
Yes.
And WWE 2K23 missing and removed superstars. So the list of superstars that they released or they removed from the game includes Jeff Hardy,
Okay.
Naomi,
That's
Mandy
telling.
Rose,
Okay.
Jeff Hardy,
Okay.
all right, I love you. Who are the other ones? And those were the major ones that they showed us. Oh, okay, let's see here. So Alexander Wolf,
Okay.
Davari, who is now in AEW,
Yep.
the Brian Kendrick,
Okay.
Cesaro for obvious reasons,
Yep.
Danny Burch for obvious reasons. Well,
Yep.
I guess not.
No, it is.
Fondongo for obvious reasons.
Yep.
Grand Metalik.
Yep. For obvious reasons.
Jeff Hardy, obviously, for obvious
Yep.
reasons.
Yep.
Swerve Strickland, for obvious reasons.
Yep.
John Morrison, again, for obvious reasons.
Yep.
Kalisto.
Again, for obvious reasons.
Keith Lee. Kinshetta, which again, for obvious reasons.
Okay.
Kyle
Yeah.
O'Reilly,
Right.
Lindsay Donaro or whatever his name was of
Dorado.
Dorado, Machine Gun Kelly,
Okay.
Mr. T, Murphy, obviously now in AEW,
Right.
Oni Lucone. I don't know why they removed him.
Yeah.
Papa Shango.
Considering. Interesting. I'm surprised they removed him.
Another one that I'm surprised they removed was Road Dogg.
Interesting.
Another one I'm surprised they removed was Roderick Strong.
Unless there's more to that than meets the eye.
Samoa Joe.
Okay.
Again, that's obvious.
Yeah.
Slapjack.
That's obvious.
Timothy Thatcher and Trent Seven. Again, obvious.
Okay. Yeah.
William Regal.
Okay.
And the man that we did our first interview with,
Tucker. Oh.
Women's removed list. Some of these for obvious reasons. Billy Kay.
Okay.
Ember Moon.
No pun intended.
Ember Moon.
Nice.
Lana.
Okay.
Mandy Rose.
Okay.
Mia Yim.
Yeah.
Mickey James. Naomi. Nia Jack. Peyton Royce, obviously.
Interesting.
Saraya.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks, obviously. Saraya, obviously.
Right.
Tegan Knox, I don't know why. Tony Storm. But here's the one that surprises me.
Okay.
Why did they remove Candice LeRae?
Well, I think sometimes they remove people because they weren't signed to the company when the game started being made. And they don't want to have to go back and do another character or whatever.
And then Amari Miller from NXT is missing. Oh.
Yeah, but that's not a big surprise because.
Oh, and then Ava Rain, Boa, Brooks Jensen, Channing Lorenzo. I was very disappointed that they didn't add him. Charlie Dempsey.
Okay. Disappointed they didn't add him either.
Well, that's what I was saying, yeah. Dante Chen, Duke Hudson.
Interesting. I'm surprised that one because of the Andre Chase thing.
And then is Eroff, or whatever his name is, Electra Lopez.
Okay.
Fallon Hensley.
Fallon Henley.
Garaja. Hank Walker.
Okay.
Adon.
Okay.
Jagger Reed. Javier Bellino.
A lot of those are NXT wrestlers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. These are the ones that aren't on the game. Joe Coffey, Josh Briggs, Tanya James. I don't know why.
Interesting.
Lash Legend.
Oh.
Lyra Valkyrie.
Lion Valkyrie, yeah.
Malachi Blade. Mark Coffey. Another guy I won't be able to pronounce. It's Nico Luca, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Odessa Jones, Oren Mosh, Messiah, I'm sorry. Quincy Elliott, Rip
Right.
Fowler.
Oh, Schism's not on there. Well, except.
Okay, so yeah, Rip Fowler, Sangha, Solruka,
Oh,
Stevie Turner, Tatum Paxley, Thea Heel,
150 over 95, 97.
okay.
Valentin Farizzo, Von Wagner, which to you doesn't really matter because Von Wagner was one of them that you really didn't want to see anyway.
Yeah.
And then Wolfgang, Quinn, and Leon.
Wow.
Notable legends that are missing, and some of these are obvious reasons. Alondra Blaze, Bam Bam Bigelow, Big Show because he's in AEW.
Right.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake,
Right.
Carlito,
Well, that's a surprise.
Jericho, Christian because they're both in AEW.
Yeah.
Brian Danielson, Daniel Bryan,
Right.
DDP.
Okay. Interesting.
This one's kind of stupid, but of course, I mean, it's obvious. Dean Ambrose. So sorry, Matt. Dean Ambrose is not in the game.
I'm surprised they even put that one on the list. That should have been a given.
The one that surprises me probably is Dusty Rhodes.
Really? That one surprises me also.
Earthquake.
Aw.
Gold Dust for obvious reasons, as much as I don't want to agree with it.
Yeah.
Greg Valentine, Ivy, Jacqueline, JEFF, JARRETT, obviously.
Well, that's an obvious one, yeah.
Lex Luger,
Right.
Mark Henry, obviously. Matt and Jeff Hardy, obviously.
Right.
Mr. Perfect, Rhino,
Obviously.
Rick Rude,
Interesting.
Rick Martel, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat,
Right.
Sting, obviously, Psycho Sid, Tanaka, Great Khali, and Typhoon. And then, of course, the Sergeant Slaughter.
Got ya.
So that is a list of who's in the game and who was excluded from the game.
Got ya. And on that note, I think we're going to let everybody go. And
Absolutely.
I do want to apologize to the fans who were looking forward to the After Dark thing this week. I had no internet for like 3 days at the Frontier, which again, Tony and I are going to. I will do one this Saturday, barring any more issues.
Absolutely. Okay, so until Sunday, be well, our friends. Be well, our believers. Be well, all our fans.
Yes, and please tell your friends and have them like and subscribe.
To me, of course, because as we all know, we're going to delete Mr. Nos.
Yes, but the good thing is, I stayed hired this whole podcast, so that's a bonus for me.
That is a bonus. Normally when Trey is here, you get fired at least 5 times.
I know, right?
So,
all
right. Anyways, enjoy Raw. Everybody else look forward to our Sunday confessionals with Andrew Young and a brand new edition of Live from the Chair next Monday. Until then, be kind to each other and
goodbye.
And goodbye. Bang.